They come from all over the world. They range in age, race, and gender, coming together to compete in a sport becoming popular worldwide. The sport? Flag football. The organization promoting it globally, the International Flag Football Federation. Hey there, I'm Jane Park reporting from the 6th Annual World Cup of Flag Football here in sunny Miami, Florida. In the next few minutes, we'll be showing you the latest craze sweeping the sports world. Flag football. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Some backyard fun after dinner, right? Well, I have some news for you. This sport has become so popular, it now exists in over 12 countries with teams competing in the World Cup of Flag Football. Our own Steve Waxman talked with the founder of the International Federation of Flag Football and the president of Flag Football Magazine, Jim Zamolka.
We're talking with the man responsible for bringing together flag football lovers from all over the world, Jim Zamolka. Jim, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about about the league, how it got started, your involvement. Give us some background.
Well, the World Cup started back in the year 2000. We brought 6 countries together in Cancun, Mexico. And it kind of evolved into what we have today with 80 teams from 12 different countries participating and playing.
How did you get involved? Why your love for flag football? Tell us about that.
Well, I had a little bit of success playing. Got to play with NFL players at the Super Bowl, the Margarita Bowl, and then decided to come up with this idea, country versus country, to kind of get more interest in the sport.
Tell us how many teams have come this year and how everything's playing out so far.
Well, we ran 20 qualifiers around the country and then 4 internationally, and we've had over 400 teams participate in the events, and it all leads up to this. They have to qualify to get there, and these are the teams that have qualified.
Now, tell us what you do. You go to different countries. How do you get people? You have such a diverse amount of people from different countries. How does that come about?
Well, we take guys from the States that want to travel and kind of teach and promote the events that we have. So we take guys that pretty much go over internationally and teach the international countries how to play, which brings them over there and makes it much more competitive when they get here.
Tell us some of the surprising places you've gone where football has taken hold and now has become a popular sport.
Well, we've been in some pretty unique places. I've been in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, Moscow, Russia, Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. Those are some of the places that you wouldn't think they play flag football, but they do. And they actually, probably one of the most biggest places that play is Valencia, Venezuela, where they have over 100 girls playing now. And these are one of the places we first started, so it's kind of grown. It's grown a lot.
Talk a little bit about that. You've got the gender mix going on here. I've heard you've got great women with bullet arms. Talk a little bit about that.
The competition for the women is pretty impressive, especially on the international side. Mexico's won the World Cup. The 6 years we've had it, 5 years. And the 1 year they didn't win, they didn't show up. So, it's really evolved. The USA is coming up stronger now with women are playing high school flag football. So the women's side of it are really competitive. And actually the youth's pretty good too.
Tell us how sponsorship plays a role and how that comes about. Because how does somebody from Ukraine come over here? How do they get here and how are they able to travel?
Well, it takes a lot of sacrifice, especially from the Latin countries because they're really poor. So it takes them a whole year to kind of build up sponsorship to get here. But it's a pure passion that they have, and they utilize that money to come here and showcase their talent.
What are some of the other things that you'd like people to know about, like what you have going on here? Because a lot of people don't know that there's an international or a World Cup of flag football.
Well, the bottom line is if you want to be here, you got to qualify, and you got to participate in one of the regionals. And the biggest reason we do that is so people understand how we do things. So when they get here, it's easier for them. So if they want to play, they got to play in the tournaments.
Also, talk a little bit about the camaraderie that you must get a nice feeling knowing you're bringing together people all over the world and for a common passion. Talk about that.
Well, like you said, we make everyone stay at one hotel. So at night, taking the bus rides, by the time people leave here, they know everybody. So it's like a big happy family.
Sort of like a mini Olympic village?
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
So what are your plans? What future plans? What's your optimism for next year regarding more teams and procedures and stuff like that?
Well, each year builds and builds, and this year we had to cap it off at 80 teams. We couldn't take anymore, and so we know the qualifiers are going to grow from that side of it because not anyone can get it. You have to qualify. So this year we're going to keep it back in the States, hopefully back in Miami, and we're expecting bigger numbers.
For next year, what countries do you see going into? You going to China or Tibet or who? What?
Well, we're looking to go to a couple new countries. Really not sure exactly where we're going to go yet, but I mean, might go to Italy. Italy brought a team here. We always go back to England, go to Mexico, Monterrey, and then actually go to Montreal. And we're looking at probably going to Honduras. Honduras came here too, so we try to help those out that come here. We try to go back and kind of support them.
What message do you have to the audience out there in general regarding the popularity of flag football?
Well, I mean, the NFL has been a big influence on the sport. I mean, they got over 1 million kids playing, and it's growing and growing rapidly. So, I mean, the best thing, if you want to participate and play against other countries, you got to play at the World Cup.
That was Jim Zamolka, the head of the Flag Football Federation, talking to us about this year's event and his plans for the future.
When we come back, we'll talk to some of the players of this new and exciting sport. If you want to find out more about the International Federation of Flag Football, visit IFFF.net or flagmag.com.
They don't want none.
Are you a player looking for action this football season? Do you want to play where I play? Play with me at the #1 rated offshore gambling site 4 years running by the Offshore Gambling Association. UWager.com is not just your sports book, it's also your online casino and poker room. Call now and mention flag football and receive $50 free play. UWager.com has guaranteed same-day payouts, so go to UWager.com or call me at 1-800-UWager. I'm ready to play. Are you?
The World Cup of Flag Football holds tournaments throughout the year in locations around the world. Check out the following for a tournament near you. If you'd like to register a team for a tournament or just want to learn more about this exciting new sport, call 603-437-0108 or visit us on the web at www.flagmag.com or www.iFFF.net.
Welcome back. The International Federation of Flag Football is truly that, bringing together teams from Mexico, St. Croix, Canada, and England, just to name a few. Our sideline reporter Matthew Chamberlain got up close and personal with Team England starting quarterback Nick Watson and team captain Ty Metcalf. Take a listen.
All right, well, we're here with two players from Team England. We have starting quarterback Nick Watson and defensive lineman Ty Metcalf. So tell me, Nick, exactly how long have you been involved with the International Flag Football Federation?
This is my third year of actually attending the event. Last year was in the Dominican, the year before was in the Bahamas. So that's really my involvement. This is Tyler's first year of coming to the event.
And how did you get involved in flag football?
I used to play tackle football for quite a few years, and I actually got quite banged up playing it. And I actually quit playing. It was something to allow me to continue playing without probably the pain of going through tackle football.
Now, Ty, how about you? How long have you been involved in football?
I've been involved in football for the last 17 years. Started off through the youth system, started playing junior flag, and then went on through senior kid. And then I was out of the game for quite a while. And when we started establishing a new team down where I'm from, we saw flag as a way of just introducing the guys to football in general. All the basic skills and drills are all the same, techniques are the same, and the only thing different is a flag pull instead of hitting. And we actually found that it was a good way of introducing the guys to the game.
Now, obviously, has there been a learning curve, do you think, among English people about American football, or do you think they catch on pretty quickly?
American football was quite popular in England in the late 80s. A lot of teams sprung up, so there's a lot of awareness of American football in England. So a lot of people watch it. It's not quite as popular now. I don't know why that is, but sort of declined a bit. But there's still quite a number of teams in England, so there is games going on. People do understand football.
Now, in terms of flag football, I know you guys are representing England, but is there a UK-wide league that you guys play in?
Yeah, there's a league and we play the majority of the year. We have our league running, then we also have the all-star teams, and then we go on tour, and then also Team England get together and play as much ball as possible.
Now, Nick, you said this is your third year playing in the World Cup, so talk to me a little bit about some of your highlights, some of your best moments from World Cup play.
Oh, it's probably I had one today. I threw a touchdown against St. Croix. In the previous years, this is the best team we've actually brought over to the World Cup, and we're actually playing a lot better than we have done in previous years. So there's a big learning curve for a lot of the guys that we've been bringing out, and year on year we're getting better and better. But probably today and yesterday, I mean, I threw five touchdowns this week, or the last 2 days, so that's probably the highlight for me.
So you're regular Peyton Manning then. Now, you tell me that football is very important, very popular in England. Do you see other countries, England or other countries perhaps, overtaking Americans in football the way maybe it's happened in basketball?
I'm not too sure they will overtake the Americans because it's such a big sport over here. You know, everyone plays it. In the country the size of America, you're always going to get the best players coming out.
So who do you think is the toughest challenge for the US team?
I think definitely Canadians. I think they're on par with them, and I think they've got the edge. I think they'll do it.
All right, well, Ty Metcalf and Nick Watson from Team England, I want to thank you very much for being with us today.
You know, you may just think that this is a bunch of weekend warriors coming together for a football game. But you know, it's a lot more serious than that. An International Federation of Flag Football tournament can have a significant economic impact for its host city. Steve Waxman tells us more about that in his interview with event sponsor and Miami-Dade Sports Commissioner Director Mike Sophia.
Tell us what impact an event like this has for your county down here.
This event's a big time impact event. It's got 80 plus teams down here competing from all over the world. I haven't seen anybody from Miami, although I know there's a couple Miami teams, but we've got RVs in the parking lot from Colorado. We've got teams from Cayman Islands, Italy, England, all over the world, all over the country. So it's a big time event for the county. It'll mean probably around $1 million or more in economic impact for the county. So not only is it a great flag football event, a great sports event, it's big impact for the county.
Well, what would you like to see in the future regarding the involvement of the Flag Football Federation with the Miami-Dade Sports Commission down here?
We've talked to them quite a bit about coming back here. We know they're looking for a place maybe that they can go for a long time. I don't know if permanent, but definitely a long time. So we'd love to have them back. It's a great group. It's a great event. And there's a lot of great flag football around the country that we'd like to have down here. But overall, whatever the sport is, great destination. So, bring it on.
And of course, what better place to play flag football than in Miami in the midwinter, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll hear what one of the Federation's official referees has to say about some of the rules and regulations of the sport. To learn more and be a part of the action now, visit IFFF.net or flagmag.com.
The World Cup of Flag Football holds tournaments throughout the year in locations around the world. Check out the following for a tournament near you. If you'd like to register a team for a tournament or just want to learn more about this exciting new sport, call 603-437-0108 or visit us on the web at www.flagmag.com or www.ifff.net. If you're thinking about starting your own flag football team, you can find everything you need from flags, footballs, cones, paint, playbooks, rule books, gloves, jerseys, and more by giving us a call at 603-437-0108, or you can visit us on the web at www.flagmag.com.
Some people think flag football is just for fun, but in reality, it teaches the old and young to be a team player who follows established rules. Matthew had a chance to discuss some of these rules with referee Mike Caudill.
For the international competition, we play, the men play a 9-person game, contact, where you have 3 people ineligible and everybody else is an eligible receiver. The women's game is a 7-person no contact, and there everybody's eligible, but they have a rush line where they have to be 5 yards before they can rush the quarterback. So the big difference is men's is contact, women are non-contact. The rules are pretty standard except for the fact that there's no goalpost. So in this game, if you score a touchdown, it's 6 points. Then you have a choice to go for either 1 or 2 points. 1 is from the 3-yard line and 2 is from the 10-yard line. We do kickoffs at the beginning of the game and the second half, but other than that, if there's a score, you just take the possession on the 35-yard line. And so, but other than that, the standard rules are pretty much still 4 downs, and what you have is the field is marked off in 20-yard zones. So you have 4 downs to make to the next 20-yard zone.